guys, hello. So we are painting this cute little pumpkin topiary. I was inspired by the cheetah print. They're not topiaries, they're kind of sitting down, but this is kind of my take on it. I thought it was really cute. So we're gonna do cheetah on the bottom. We'll do some polka dot and some tulip here. I thought it would be really fun. I was thinking glitter polka dot, because you know me, we gotta do some glitter. I have not, oh yes, your gloves are right on the shelf, Riley, but I'm on the live, okay?
Oh, sorry.
So anyways, sorry you guys. Let me just make sure I've got comments there. Hey Carol, you've been waiting, yay! I'm sorry you've been waiting. Okay, so I'm going to kind of do this one probably, I would say medium, not quite beginner, not quite advanced, just kind of right in between. So like I said, we'll do this pumpkin topiary. I pulled some colors. I don't know which pumpkin I'm going to use yet. Hey Kate. Browns we're going to use Spice Brown and Territorial Beige right there. Yellows we're going to use are Pale Yellow, this light one, Bright Yellow, the middle one, and then this darker one is called Empire Gold. Those are Empire Gold is one of my favorites for fall. For the teal blue, we're going to use Caribbean Blue. And then we're going to use, of course my family decides it's yard work time right now. So if it's bothersome and you guys are having a hard time hearing, let me know. Oranges I pulled, like I said, I don't know which one I'm going to use. We've got Dark Goldenrod, Bittersweet Orange, of course pumpkin, and then Cantaloupe. Cantaloupe we'll probably use more for shading purposes, but just so you know. Hey Rhea, how are you, hon? Okay, so we all know that white and black are the only times that I really will use apple barrel for. There's a few colors of apple barrel that I just love that I will painstakingly use a couple of coats for. Other than that, I love to use my Delta paint, or Deco Art Americana is my second choice. And then let me grab a little bit of median. This median has become my favorite for doing detailing and shading instead of using water. So I'm just going to throw a little bit of this on my foam plate, and then I'm going to flip you guys down. There we go. Oh, I guess, oops, wrong one. There we go. Then you can kind of see me. Okay, so another thing I was thinking, maybe just to give you guys another angle, if you guys like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to just do a little bit of the shading on this middle pumpkin. I already did paint 2 coats of this, so you didn't have to watch me paint white, because I know it doesn't show up so well when we're doing it. Oh, there we go. There's my brush. I didn't clean it out. Hey, Miss Johnny. I can't remember if I said hi. All right, and I just cleaned out the wrong one. I went looking for these kids brushes at my Walmart, and they were all out of stock, so I think I'm gonna have to order them online. But this one is a 1/4 angle that we're gonna use. So I'm just gonna dip my brush in the median just a little bit, just to kind of get it nice and covered in there. And then, hey Shante, I'm gonna go with light ivory and on the tip, and then on the back end we're just gonna go with normal white. So if you can kind of see, you can't see the difference on camera. We're gonna kind of go back and forth just a little bit, and I'm just going to kind of make a nice arch with the pumpkin, which is already kind of stenciled in, but we're just making it kind of bold, look a little more three-dimensional, giving that shading without using too much work with it, right? And I'm not too worried because we're painting with such a light color that I'm not too worried about these sunflowers because we can just paint over them, okay? All right. So right here, we're gonna go one more time, like so. So I'm gonna kind of bring that up. Can you guys see that? Yep, you can. So there you go. That's kind of what we're doing with giving that. That's a really quick, easy way to do some shading. I think I'm gonna just lightly go right here just to kind of give a little bit right here. There we go. Nothing too fancy there. Okay. We're gonna wait for this because we're gonna pull orange down here, so I'm going to wait on that. Let's go ahead and go with the teal. Let me grab a palette right here. And this is the Caribbean blue, and I probably just pulled way too much for it. Now I'm going to be using a 3/8 angle brush for this one. And then, like I said, I was kind of inspired, I think Lori, I've seen it a couple of places. I know Trendy Tree has this ribbon too. I wish I had it so I could show you, but it's that teal ribbon with the leopard print and everything else on it. The pumpkins aren't topiary, but that's kind of what I was inspired by when I was drawing this. I just thought that ribbon was so adorable, and so I thought it would be really fun to incorporate it a different way, but still kind of give credit to it, but make it my own. So what I'm doing is I'm just getting the tip of my brush here, and I'm loading that, and then I'm just taking our angles ever so slowly and just kind of working out in a slow little fashion. So we're just like when you used to color in coloring books, how you kind of color the edges first, so you then could scribble inside. That's kind of what we're doing here. Painting is a lot like coloring, I feel like. All right. So I'm just getting these edges here. There we go. Oh my goodness. If my family could make more noise, I can not wait till the end of this month. I normally always get mad at my kids for, you know, thinking about things too soon ahead, because then they don't live in the moment and have fun. But man, I cannot wait for this new studio. Cannot wait to not have to share my space as much. Because y'all that are crafting in dining rooms and that, I give it to you. Because man, is it rough. I think it's more rough just because I didn't have to share a space to now sharing a space, and they're always in my business. So please let me know if you can hear them working and it's getting too much. I will go yell at them. I'll be the crazy mom, go yell. You guys, the house is coming along so much, by the way. On Saturday when we went and checked on it, they had done some cleaning, so my floors were open so I could really see my floors, because the last time I was there I only saw just a little bit because they were covering them with cardboard so they didn't get beat up or injured. So they got those pulled up and cleaned the floors, and they, oh, I love them, so pretty. And then that was the one thing I did get to pick about my house, were those floors. So pat on my back, right? So anyways, we got the floor, they cleaned that up. The plumbing's all working, so we could turn on the faucets and flush toilet. I'm gonna hit this with just a quick heat gun. And yes, I have a new heat gun. The red one accidentally fell a little too hard, and it was making a really bad rattling sound inside, so I decided we had to part ways. It was a sad moment. But this one also came from Harbor Freight, so I stole Brian's for the time being. I'm telling you guys, Harbor Freight is where it's at for those heat guns. I probably could take it back because I know that they warranty everything, but I just feel guilty because I knew I was the one that beat it up. Okay, so I'm just doing 1 second coat on this. It's just a little bit patchy, not too bad, but enough that I definitely wanted to get those little bits that I could see. All right. So there's our top part of our pumpkin that's all cute and blue. Let me, I think we might shade this one just a little bit too. Let me grab one more color here. I think the seafoam might be too light. Okay, I'm gonna go with, I think this is Spa Blue, yes. So this is Deco Art Spa Blue. I'm just gonna grab just a little bit because we really don't need too much of this. You throw those over there. Oh, oops, I guess I should clean up a little bit of my paint here. I'll grab just a little bit and let me scoop up the rest of this real quick. Okay. All right, let me throw that in there. Hey Sherry, how are you? So I hope this new time is gonna work for everybody. With Lori doing the business call, it just made it maybe a little bit too difficult for everybody to join. So I decided maybe to go a little bit later would hopefully help. And then Lori apologizes. She said she forgot on the time. So she's going to be going on at 9 on her YouTube channel besides tonight. So shading wise, just same as the white. We're just gonna go real quick here, real quick here. Okay, just doing a nice little sweep. Now when I'm doing the shading, remember I got the light up at the top, dark or the same color that we're using at the bottom. Just like so. And this is just kind of giving that pumpkin more dimension. And then with using that median, it makes it a little bit smoother. So before you guys would see me use water. So the median is just taking it and it makes the brush a little more jelly, more plausible, pliable, and it makes it so that it doesn't dry out or your brush, you don't see the brush strokes as much, so you don't see as much drag with it. Yes, I can see that in the camera, what you guys are seeing. So that looks pretty. And then I know that the white you can't see too much, but we did do that. We did use a light ivory for those of you that came in just a second or few later. Okay, so now I think we'll go ahead and do these yellow. And what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna use the bright yellow. Okay. With the bright yellow, I'm gonna just use this 1/4 angle brush because the petals are kind of on the thinner side. So I'm just taking from the tip, moving down and pulling my paint down. Same thing here. Got just a little bit extra paint here on this one petal, so I'm just kind of trying to thin it out there. Just loading the edge of my brush. I'm not trying to get the back in. I'm just getting the tip part while I'm loading it in, and then I'm just pulling the paint down. Okay. Oops. Had a dog hair on there. Okay. Just working in a nice little circle pinwheel with these sunflower leaves. And then just like always, I did include the template for you guys. Let me know if the link isn't working. But it is included in my link. I believe I put it in there. Now I'm like second guessing myself. It's not showing me what I wrote. I'll double check, but I swear I put it in there. You like the detail on the pumpkin? Perfect. I think with pumpkins it's hard because sometimes when you paint them, it's hard to get that bold, bumpy, round, plump look. So doing just that slight little bit of shading really helps. And you guys, I will tell you, when I first started out, I was super scared of shading. It just looked so intimidating. And I know I make it look easy, but it really is quite easy to do. All right, so here I'm just gonna grab our little leaves real quick. On this one, okay, let's go ahead and go to this next sunflower here. Shantae, girl, I just got thinking, you're my sunflower girl. These are about the same colors that I used to make your sign. I don't think I used the Empire though, because I was trying to make it more of a bright, sunny sunflower, not more of a fall looking one. So if I wanted to keep these bright, like I said, I would probably go away from using the Empire, and I would go with a little bit brighter of a sunflower. So I'd paint this sunflower a little bit lighter, or a little bit, the bright yellow that I'm using right now, I'd maybe go with a little bit softer of a tone with, probably just use like a yellow, straight yellow instead of bright yellow. And then use the bright yellow as the shading center, which you'll see, which will be our next step. And then use our pale yellow. I would still use that. And I'm not too concerned about the center because we are painting that brown. So we can paint over that very easily. Let me get these edges real quick here. Okay. You love your sign? Perfect. Okay. So I'm just gonna do one coat of yellow because with the shading and everything else, we're going to completely go over this quite a bit. So like I said, this is the bright yellow. Let me throw this extra in here. Okay. Put the bright yellow right here. I'm gonna go ahead and grab Empire Gold right here. And just a little dot, that's all you need. I'm gonna go into a smaller brush for these ones. Just finding which one I wanna use. Okay, so this is a number 2 flat. It is, whoops, pretty small there, if you guys can see that. Okay, so I got the median, move that in. So I'm going to get the dark on one side, light on the other, kind of go back and forth just a little bit. And all we're gonna do is just kind of create just little in between centers here. So kind of still following the line of the sunflower, but kind of going inside of it. Like so. Can you guys kind of see that popping through? Oops. Oh my gosh, this brush. I need new brushes. Grab just a little bit of yellow. There we go. All right. So this is where I was saying that we didn't need to do a second coat, because we're basically, with this shading, we're kind of creating a second coat. Now, just like in nature, some are going to be a little bit darker and lighter than others, and that is a-okay. You want that look, okay? When you're doing shading, it is okay to not be perfect. I'm just going to pick up just a little bit of median and kind of take these brushes, strokes just a little bit, and smooth them out. It's another thing that's really cool about using the median instead of the water, is you can kind of gel and move your paint just a little bit more than the water. Let me pick up some more paint here. So there we go with the sunflowers. I'm going to take this and just kind of lightly go around the circle just to get that nice and blended in there. Okay, same thing again here. I'm so glad you love your sign. I loved how it turned out. Just a little bit more. Okay. Grab a little more. So did you guys all have a great 4th of July? Felt a little bit different this year because we weren't, being in a new place, we weren't really sure of what to do. So we ended up hanging out with friends on Saturday, and then we kind of just hung out on the actual 4th, but went around and that night and kind of hung around with some other friends and did some fireworks and stuff like that. So it was fun. Oh, let me just check this real quick. Okay. I'm just kind of smoothing out real quick. I have a few little brush strokes that I wanted to smooth out on these sunflowers, but I'm really loving the look of them. What do you think? Okay, so next step with these sunflowers is we're just going to get a little bit of this pale yellow here, get some gel or medium, and then we're going to do the light pale yellow and the dark yellow or the bright yellow. Kind of go back and forth just a little bit, and we're just going to kind of clean up the tips of the sunflower using this brush. Okay. Whoops. Ugh, this brush and me, we're gonna have to throw it away once we're done here. You can sometimes use pliers too to push the metal back on. Just a little hack I also have learned. So we might do that. All right. Oh my gosh. This is killing me. I don't have my pliers right here to do it, or it would. All right. So this is just that pale yellow and bright yellow mixed together. We're just kind of going right around the edges, kind of just giving a nice little highlight. So one more time here. One more time. Sorry, my phone's gonna keep bugging me. Let me silence this. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. And one more here. Okay. So there we go. Pull it up a little bit so you guys can kind of see that. How we liking it? Okay. Now let's do some orange. I'm thinking I'm gonna go with the dark golden rod. Let's see. I think pumpkin's just gonna go a little too bright for what I'm wanting. And bittersweet, and just maybe a little too orange. Okay, we're gonna go with dark golden rod. Maybe. if it wants to come out. Okay. I'm gonna get a little bit bigger of an angle brush for this. So this is a 5/8 angle brush. That's what I'm using here. I did just get my brush tip just a little bit wet. All right. Now when you saw me kind of messing with this angle right here towards the sunflower, I got a little bit too much paint right here. So I'm just gonna now start pulling it down, smoothing it out. All right. So we're gonna get this side. All right, going in again. There we go. Cleaning up this edge. There we go. So I'm just working on getting the edges right now. So I'm just getting the tip of my brush, loading it just a little bit because I am working with a bigger size brush, and then just kind of dragging my paint down. And then I am lifting it up at an angle if that seems to help you guys. This helps my wrist just a little bit. Definitely don't be afraid to move your piece around. If you need to lift it up to get that angle that you like, and it doesn't hurt your wrist, go for it. And when you're working in tight corners, it's sometimes easier to go to the corner and then do a sweeping motion to get those angles that you're wanting, okay? All right. Hi, Linda, how are you? You were at the store? Ooh, what store were you at, girl? Hopefully it was a fun store. All right, so we're gonna paint right here, get this nice and smooth out. You're in North Carolina at the beach. Which beach are you at? In A, I'm jealous. All right, you guys, I'm just getting the edge of our piece here. Oak Island. I don't think I've heard of that one before, but you know, like I said, I'm new to North Carolina, so there's a lot I haven't heard. Okay, I'm just gonna go right around the edge to make sure that I didn't get any paint over just there. Ooh, I'm loving that. What do you guys think? You like that? Southport. Oh, I've kind of heard of Southport, yes. Pretty. Me and Brian want to kind of do a coastal tour of North Carolina. We probably won't get to it till next year, but you know, we'll be here. I'm not planning on going anywhere. All right, so I did put down some extra of the orange here. I'm gonna put this over to the side here, and then I think I'm gonna use the, let's see, what color do I want to use? Maybe the orange. I think I'm gonna use pumpkin. I'm gonna use pumpkin, so cantaloupe and bittersweet we're not gonna use. I'm gonna use pumpkin, and I'm gonna do the detailing lines real quick. And then we'll also use pumpkin for the cheetah print, or circles of the cheetah print. So I'm going to use the 1/4 inch brush. I'm going to get just a little bit of medium here, and then I'm going to get the darker on the tip. I just screwed that up. Never mind. Hold on. Malfunction. I'm going to get the lighter on the tip, the darker on the back. So lighter, darker. We'll kind of ombre back and forth just a little bit. And then, ooh, yes, this looks pretty. And we will get our shading going on here. Now, you wouldn't maybe have to do the shading on this, but I thought it would be nice to kind of see this popping through a little bit with our cheetah print that we're gonna do. See, a little more there. Back up, there we go. Can you see that nice shading kind of happening, making that pumpkin look extra plump? All right, so you can see that right there. There we go. Okay, I'm just gonna get this brush rinsed out real quick. Now, if we wanted to stop here and not go crazy with doing cheetah print, we could, but hey, we're gonna live our extra life tonight and have some fun. So with cheetah print, all you do is we're just gonna start making kind of ovals, circles, whatever we want to call them. We can be really random. Now with this pumpkin, because it's a little bit lighter, the dark is going to start showing through just a little bit. So we'll probably have to hit this with the heat gun and do one more coat. Now, like I said, with cheetah, it is the most forgiving print you can ever do, I swear. So we're just gonna kind of lightly do this. We're not gonna really worry too much about our circles, ovals, whatever we're kind of creating. Just something kind of circular is all we're needing. I'm gonna put one right there. Maybe one more right here. Okay, let me throw the heat gun real quick here. On low heat. And I'm kind of moving in different little motions. Okay. You love it. Thank you, Linda. Okay, so I'm going to turn this off real quick. Okay. Grab a little more orange. Now this is that pumpkin orange that we're using. You're going to kind of see it on this second coat really start brightening up a little bit more. Now that we got that base coat in. Now if you were really wanting a bright, you know, to really show that brightness, putting down a little bit of white, letting that dry, and then painting over, that would give a really good bright color. Okay. But where we're just doing cheetah print and most of our dots, polka dots, whatever we want to call this, are in between cheetah print, we are just going to let it be with this because most of this is going to kind of get covered by the black part of the cheetah anyways. But you can see how it's definitely showing up a little bit more with that second coat. But you're still also seeing that detail of the plump roundness of the pumpkin still kind of popping through the back. Let's see, did I get that one? I'm not sure if I got this one. I don't think I did. All right, so with the extra paint here, I'm gonna get my big fat brush right here. This is a 3/4 inch brush, and I'm just gonna get the extra orange here. And with this one, we are going to be more precise with our polka dots. So remember with polka dots, we want to kind of work in triangles. I might need to grab some more orange from the jar. We are going to glitter these, so if they're not 100%, we're okay too. Grab just a little bit out of the jar here. All right, and maybe right there we'll get one. Okay, and I feel like I'm missing one. I'll go right there. Okay. Hey Amanda, what's up, girly? Okay, so pumpkin orange was the brighter orange that we used right here. I'm gonna go ahead and let this dry. Let's work on our stems and our stem and the pumpkin centers. I am just gonna use the inside lid for this. Well, never mind, I lie. I am going to use one of the paint trays. Just grab a little bit here and clean this brush just a little bit. I'm going to be using that 1/4 angle brush again. Ugh, I need new new brushes. Okay, so quick thing. When you have your favorite brush that you absolutely love and the bristles keep falling out and you know you went to go replace them and you can't find them, just take your scissors. Yes, I can't open paint bottles to get every last drop of paint because I'm pathetic. Just cut it off and it will make it nice and sharp again, okay? I'm a cheapie. I hate buying new brushes. But even more so, I hate getting rid of a good friend because my paintbrushes become my best friends. This one has been definitely a well-loved one lately. I love these kid brushes from Walmart. And I went to Walmart today, but they didn't have them. So I went to replace my friend, I promise. And I mean, Lord knows I have more paintbrushes than the law allows, but this one has just become a favorite of mine. It's the Kids brand Royal paintbrushes. They have different colored like brush tips and stems. So just FYI. Okay, so there's our little stems on our little cute sunflowers here. Amanda, do you have the ribbon? It has a teal pumpkin and then a white and polka dot pumpkin and cheetah print, and it has like stripes. Anyways, if you do, let them know. But this is what I was inspired by, was that ribbon. It's not in a topiary. They're kind of just grouped up and hanging out, but that was what inspired this drawing. This drawing slash painting. I get inspired by the ribbon. I like to see what ribbon's out there. I don't like to necessarily copycat it, but I like to use it and get inspired that way. You're loving it? Good, I love that you do. Okay, let me throw the heat gun on these one time, because this brown is one that always needs 2 coats. And even though we're going to shade this one, it's just a little too patchy for what I like. Alright. Put that there. Okay. Alright. Okay, one more time. I seriously am absolutely loving how this one's coming out. Okay, brown, we're done with. Besides, we're just gonna grab a little bit right there. Well, maybe a little bit more. There we go. Now this dark brown was called Spice Brown. It's another one of my favorites to use for fall. Definitely a fall favorite. Okay, I'm gonna throw that in there. And then we're gonna use a Territorial Beige. This is another, this one's just a favorite in general. I use this one a lot. This one's becoming a little bit harder to find, just a little bit of an FYI though. I ended up having to actually buy this off a Plaid website. That's where I buy my paint. If I can't find it in the store, I buy it from Plaid. They're really good at shipping to you quickly and everything else, but they very rarely run sales. So you are buying it at full price, whereas with Hobby Lobby and stuff like that, you get it for a little bit less. Okay, so I am using a number 2 again. We're gonna do the lighter on the top, darker on the bottom, back and forth. Get a nice little ombre kind of thing going on. I'm just gonna get the center. And then I'm gonna do kind of something crazy, and we're gonna make just one more little swoosh with the center. I'll show you guys that again. So center, we're gonna go all the way around. Okay. I just need a little bit more right here. There we go. Okay. Grab just a little more paint. And then we're gonna make a nice little swoosh. Kind of right there. So almost like a half. And what this is going to do is just kind of give a little more, because if you look at a sunflower, it has the outside and the center and it kind of domes up. So that's what we're kind of doing here, is making it kind of dome. Okay. So just simple, easy, nothing too much there, nothing too crazy besides that little center part. Grab one more time. I'm gonna do the stem here. Our pumpkin. And then we're gonna call that good. We're gonna leave that, okay? So our brown is done. And then, just because you guys, I have seriously been fighting for this territorial beige. I know this looks like a little bit, but I am going to scoop this up. Because it has been super hard getting some of these paints. Like stalking the website kind of stuff. I'm afraid to admit that, but I've been definitely stalking. Okay, so our leaf is next, and then we're gonna go with the cheetah on the bottom, and then we'll detail the lines, okay? So, this one I am just gonna use the lid for, because we're just using such a small little area. Let me grab my 1/4. Like I said, that 1/4 angle brush has been a buddy to me. I'm kind of sad to throw him away. I think I've had him since Nashville. I picked these brushes up in Nashville with Lori because I forgot my brushes at her retreat. All right, so I'm gonna just do a nice little swooshy motions here, get this leaf going. You might just be a little bit over on time, you guys, I'm sorry. All right, so leaf, here we go. There we go. Okay, so our leaf is done. I am just gonna pull just a little bit of green out on my plate here. Okay. And then that was medium foliage green. And then I'm gonna use light foliage green. Woo! That spit it out. Let me just grab what spit out here, and we'll use that. Guess it really wanted to be used. Okay, going back to that number 2 flat angle brush, we're going to get some more medium. Okay, gonna get my brush in that. Move that just around, lighter on the tip, darker on the other, move back and forth. I'm just gonna kind of get these leaves going here. And there we go. And we are calling the leaf done. Okay, now for the fun part, where all of this is gonna really go. We're gonna start seeing it all come together with black. Okay, so let me see. I am going to want a round. Okay, I'm gonna use a number 1 round. I'm just gonna wet that with my mouth. That's what I do. Okay, so when doing leopard print, you're gonna make U's with a little dot. Let's see. So you're gonna make like little U's with a little dot up top. We're gonna do little sides like that, or you can just do one whole little U, or you can just do a little side, okay? And then in between, you can make little squigglies in between. It is completely random. There is no rules with it, okay? Besides kind of just those little squiggly things, like I said. That is about all there is with cheetah print. You do not have to be precise with it. It's just kind of making squigglies, and that's about it. And if you mess up a little bit, then it just gets a little bit bigger. That's about it. Okay? I have found that using a round brush is the easiest to do the black part of it. Okay? Beyond that, it really is just up to you. Okay? So this one will kind of go right here. Kind of get this edge. I'm going to kind of create like there was one that's falling off over here. Okay, we're going to kind of get a little separate little black spot right here. Okay, right here we'll go with one. You kind of see the randomness that I'm talking about, I hope. All right, we'll go right here, make another one. This one will make just a little circle thing kind of going on. All right, this one we'll kind of do another little spot right here. Okay, and same right here. You're liking it? Oh, hey Susan, I didn't see you hop on. Okay. So I'll probably just kind of go right here with this one. All right, kind of get a little dab right there. Here. And do a little one right here.
Hey, Mom.
I'm on a live, sweetheart.
Do you know if my phone comes I did dog duty?
You're gonna have to ask Daddy. You gotta go find Daddy, okay?
How's my phone in the garage?
Okay. Sorry, guys. All right. So we are getting there. Almost done here. Actually, I think I'm gonna make this one a full. Okay. Maybe a little there. Whoops, sorry guys. Dogs, no. See, we're out in the garage, so Haley opened the garage. And here they come. All right, so there is our cute little cheetah. Can you please get them back out, at least Molly? Go get Daddy. Go get Daddy. Go get Daddy, okay? Sorry about that, guys. Okay. I'm going to get some water in here. Spin that around. Now when I do this, I like to get my detail brushes. This is a number 1 on my detail brushes. And what we're gonna do is just do the outlining. Of our project. Like so. Adding in just a few little swooshies. Okay. I am not loving this detail brush. Let me get my smaller one. This is a 1/0 liner brush. It's a little bit thinner. Okay. So all I'm doing is just lining the sunflower here, just so that we get the nice shape. I'm sorry guys, my dogs are going nuts. I don't know what about. Okay. The last little leaf right here. And we'll go right here. I think I'm going to add just a little squiggly. And bring that down. Same on this side. There we go. Now when you're using liner brushes, you do have to go back for paint a lot more because they just don't hold too much paint. That's hence why I like to water mine down just a little bit, the black paint down, because it does seem to let it move a little bit longer. Right here. Right here would be a cute little squiggly. Love adding them squigglies, you know me, you guys. All right. Dogs, they're gonna be the death of me, y'all. My Molly has become very boisterous. She always has been boisterous, but very boisterous lately. All right. Same thing here. Right here. Guys, while my hand's right here, I'm going to go ahead and get this pumpkin center so I don't have to take the risk of me bumping it. The sunflower, the wet sunflower paint, okay? And I should have done the center of that sunflower, but I wasn't thinking. I'll go right here, another little zigzag. Get right there. Grab right here. Okay. And right here, we're gonna go one more time. And here. So I'm not hiding the shading, but I'm just emphasizing it with doing these little detail outlines. But if you don't like, we could always keep them out too. Okay. And one more right there. Look at our leaf here. Right here. Okay. And there we go. Isn't that so cute? Oh, I love it. Now I'm seeing it in the camera. Okay. We'll get the white. Hey, Susie. I didn't see your comment until just now. Hopefully I didn't wait too long to respond.
There's lots of little lightning bugs outside.
Cool. Okay, I'm on live, honey.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were done.
All right, guys. So now what we're gonna do is I'm just going to lightly hit this with some outlining, which is just white. I'm gonna still use that same liner brush. and just kind of get where we did our cute little zigzags and throw some white here. Now the white, we don't need it to touch everywhere. You just kind of want little highlights, okay? Now when it gets the white, if you really want some highlights on it, you could go ahead and do like a really, really light gray, or just leave it, okay? I am gonna hit just a little bit where we did that little fake faux center with the sunflower. I'm not doing too much with the sunflower because we did that light white, or the light pale yellow. So I'm just kind of lightly hitting my brush with it in just little few spots. Get a little zigzag here. There we go. There we go. And almost done with the highlighting. And because we know we're extra, I am going to throw some glitter on there. Do you guys want to see the glitter? Yeah, we'll show you glitter. It's not too hard. Thank you, Linda and Susie. Okay, so glitter, because these, yep, those are dry. Okay, so we're gonna use a little bit of Mod Podge. I'm gonna use that same brush end, and I know I have my glitter sheet somewhere. Oh, the hubby has been playing in my craft room. Not a good sign. Oh, here's a piece. Okay, so I just use parchment paper or sketching paper since I don't really use it anymore. Of course, right? Always time for glitter. Okay, I'm just going to use my lid here. And the glitter that I picked out was this, can't remember what color they actually call this. Anyways, it came from Walmart a while ago. Probably like a year or 2 years ago. So we're gonna just take the end of our brush, do the same thing that we did before, trying not to drip it everywhere. Okay, I think now it's a fireworks show outside. I can't win for lose. Are you guys hearing that? Oh my gosh. Guess we're celebrating the 4th today too. All right. I apologize about my phone, you guys. It's been going off like crazy. Don't know what's going on. It's always the law. Nobody sends me messages until I get online or get on a live, start trying to teach. All my kids need me, including the husband. He counts as a kid. All right, so let me throw this Mod Podge bottle together so I at least knock some things off. All right, let's show our final work. Ooh. There we go. Ain't that pretty? Whoop. Ain't that cute? Ooh, I love that. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, let me flip so you can see face on camera. Ain't she cute? Ooh, I love her. Do you guys love? I'm loving. Thanks, Shante. I'm gonna move this up, you guys. Did you guys like the camera? Woo, we got blurry. Okay, there we go. Did you guys like the camera pointed down? Have a little bit different of an angle too. So you can see that glitter popping through our shaded sunflowers. You can kind of see the shading on the pumpkin, on the blue there. Isn't that fun? All right, you guys. Well, I am so happy with how this turned out. Yay! Thank you guys. Y'all are so sweet. Okay guys, so remember the new time will be 8 o'clock now, due to Lori having the business Zoom. So we can do the business Zoom for those of you guys that are in the business class as well. So you don't have to pick and choose. Thank you, Sherry. You have a blessed week as well. And I will be doing Cricut class tomorrow, so I will see you at 8 o'clock tomorrow for Cricut class as well. All right, bye y'all. Have a wonderful night.